Hi, I'm Kate from Tranquil Living. Crocheting a mini granny hexagon has been on my to-do list for ages, so I'm excited to finally share this tutorial with you. I'm using little bits of scrap double knit cotton yarn with a 4mm crochet hook. These are perfect for those little leftover bits that we all keep. Feel free to adjust your hook size to suit your yarn. This tutorial uses the US crochet terminology. Let's get started. We're going to attach our yarn to the hook with a slip knot and securing that tightly. And then we need to make a chain circle. So we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to insert our hook into the very first chain and join the ends with a slip stitch to form our circle. So it's yarn through and just pull right through there to secure your circle. To begin round 1, we're going to chain 4. This will count as your first double crochet and your first corner chain space. So in this round, what we're doing is creating 6 clusters around the center ring, and these will become the 6 sides of our hexagon. You might be wondering why we're starting with a chain instead of a full cluster. That's because this chain 4 will become part of our final cluster at the end of the round, along with a corner chain space. It might feel like we're starting at the end, but don't worry, it will all make sense when we come back around. Right, let's make our first cluster by working 2 double crochets into the center of this chain ring. So for your first double crochet, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the center, and then pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, then yarn over again and pull through the remaining 2. Go ahead and work 1 more double crochet into the center ring in the same way, and that is our first cluster then finished. We will now chain 2 to create our corner space, and we are going to repeat the 2 double crochet and 2 chains another 4 times into the center. So yarn over, insert your hook into that center space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the remaining 2 loops, and then repeat another double crochet into that center, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through second 2, and then we're going to make another 2 chains to make our next corner. So now we've got 2 clusters, and we are going to go and do another cluster with a double crochet into the center, and then another double crochet into the center, and then another 2 chains. So now I've got 3 sides of my hexagons, or 3 hexagon, or 3 clusters, and I'm going to go ahead and make another 2 repeats, and then I'll show you what to do at the end. Okay, completed the 4th cluster. Now I'm going to chain 2 and 2, and then make my my 5th cluster. First double crochet, another double crochet into that center, okay, I've got my 5 clusters, or 5 sides of the hexagon, chain 2. Now I'm going to make 1 double crochet also into the center, and then I'm going to connect this double crochet by a slip stitch into the 3rd chain of that 4 chain that I made at the beginning of the round. So it's into the slip stitch into the 3rd chain, and that will make or stand as my 2nd double crochet in my 6th cluster which is the 6th side of the hexagon. So if you find your 2 stitches to go under there, slip stitch through, and then we're going to slip stitch again into the chain space. So let me just show you first here. Okay, so we've got our 6 clusters, which are the 6 sides of your hexagon, and your chain spaces, and that's the first round. So now we're going to just finish off, as I said, with a slip stitch into this chain space and make it a loose-ish slip stitch. Right, I just want to bring this to the screen so we can see what we're going to be doing and how we're going to be building on that initial round there. You can see we've got two double crochet stitches in the first round, and in the second round we've got 4 double crochets because we are working one either side, and then 1 stitch into the tops of those previous double crochets. And then in the third round we've got 1 either side again, plus 1 double crochet into the tops of those previous stitches, and that gives us 6 stitches in total in that final round. So you are going up in 2s on each side of the hexagon. You can continue beyond row 3 if you want to make your hexagon larger. Just repeat the same pattern for each new round, working 1 double crochet into every stitch from the round below, and in each corner chain space you work a double crochet on either side, and as your rounds grow your hexagon will become larger. To begin round 2 we're going to chain 4. This is doing the end at the beginning again, so this chain would count as your last double crochet for when we end the round and the corner chain space. Next, we're going to do a double crochet into the chain 2 space. This is the first double crochet of what will now become a cluster of 4 double crochets for the side of the hexagon. Continue by working a double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches from the previous round. One, then 2, and then we're going to work 1 more double crochet into this corner chain 2 space, and that'll give us our 4 double crochets across this side. And then we're going to chain 2 just as we did in the previous round after each cluster. That chain 2 will be our corner space. Let's start the next side of the hexagon. Work 1 double crochet into our corner chain 2 space, then work a double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches from the previous round. That's the double crochets from the previous round, and then we finish off our cluster of 4 by working 1 more double crochet into the corner chain space over there. So you just go in there and do another double crochet, and that will complete our cluster of 4 double crochets on this side. And then you will chain 2 to make your next corner, and you'll just repeat that same pattern right the way around. I'm going to just speed it up and complete my way around, and then show you at the end how to attach your last double crochet to the chain that we made at the beginning. I'm starting the last side of my hexagon, so I'm going to double crochet into the last chain 2 space, and then double crochet into each of those 2 stitches from the round below. So double crochet in there, and then my last double crochet into that last one below, and then I'm going to connect this double crochet to the chain that I made at the beginning of the round. So the third chain, I'm going to slip stitch to connect them and finish off the round. You can see the 6 sides there. Sorry, the screen went a bit off. And then, yeah, there we go. You can just stretch them out, each corner, to kind of shape it, and just do keep count, because it's quite easy to miss a double crochet and then end up with a wonky looking hexagon. Make a slip stitch into the chain space, and let's start round 3. We're going to chain 4 to start this round 3, and then we're going to double crochet into that chain space, yarn over, pull through the 2, and yarn over, pull through the other 2, and then we're going to double crochet into each of those 4 stitches from the round before. This one, and 2, and 3, and 4, and then a double crochet into the chain 2 space to make the 6th double crochet for our 6 double crochet cluster, and that makes the first side of the hexagon. And chain 2 to make your chain 2 space, your corner space, double crochet into the chain 2 space below, and then double crochet into each of the 4 stitches below. And it just repeats this pattern right the way around. And then when you get to the end, once again, you'll join your double crochet with the chain 4 from the beginning. I'm going to speed this up, and I'll see you back on that last side of the hexagon. So we've reached the last side of our hexagon. I've chained 2, and I'm going to double crochet into the chain 2 space below, and then as per each other side, I'm going to double crochet into each of the 4 stitches from the round below. 1, 2, and 3, and the 4th one, and then I'm going to join now to the chain 4 that I made at the beginning of the row. So it's the 3rd chain, so 1, 2, 3. I'm going to insert my hook in there and join with a slip stitch. I'm going to try and get the hook in there. I made the chain a bit tight. pull through and pull through to make a slip stitch, and that is my hexagon, the mini hexagon, completed. As I said, if you'd like to keep going, you can keep going around just following the same pattern by adding a stitch on the end of either side. Please give a thumbs up and subscribe if this was helpful. I look forward to seeing you next time.